Oh, include via IGN. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see if I can get this on the internet here. All right, so Sheeva's last playable appearance in Mortal Kombat game was Mortal Kombat 9 in 2011. Yes. Right. She was in the story in MK11. I knew that. I mentioned that before. Okay, so Sheeva's gameplay style is described as a grappler with throws to cover every situation. And she still does have low grapple and overhead grapple. Ooh, okay. Like I said, in MK9, that's what it was. It was really, in practice, it was more like an overhead low mix-up rather than like a sort of traditional grab mix-up. As a traditional, like, sort of mid command grab character. So it sounds like she's still going to be the same way. And unblockable teleport slam. Yeah, so I didn't play Sheeva in MK9, I played Cyrax, and part of why, even though I felt that, you know, at that time I already liked playing grapplers for sure, I had been for many years, so I looked at Sheeva, definitely. And even when the game was so new and we didn't know like who was good or not yet, really, I just didn't like, it just right off the bat, I didn't like that you could duck a command grab. I just was not, you know, wasn't for me. So Sheeva, I mean, I'm looking forward to trying her out. She was a grappler in MK9, but she wasn't very good. She was one of the weaker characters for sure. Weakest, probably. But she did have command grabs in a game where there like wasn't really command grabs, especially once they nerfed Cyrax from the beginning. Which is probably the right call, to be clear. It wasn't a game that had much of that, so it was more like overhead low mix up. So I'm excited to see her in like a game where there's truly grapplers. In Injustice 1, NRS finally put in true grapplers. Like there's straight up good command grabs in that game, and there have been ever since. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in that context. I think that's going to be cool. I played a bunch of Goro in MKX. He was a fun character, I thought, and underrated the whole time, even when he first came out. And I'm sure that Sheeva will play differently in some ways, but like she's got certainly some of the same stuff, I would think. Anyway, take a look at that later. There's a video associated with that. So what do we got on this side? Are you about to throw a projectile? So to me, this implies that she has a projectile she's gonna throw. Guess we'll see. Or maybe this is like a normal where it's a shield that she's usually holding and try to hit you with the shield. Anyway, yeah, I hope that this means she has a projectile. Every character's got one, you know? What's the exception is maybe Jackie and a couple of her variations, but in general, does literally everybody else have a projectile? Quick maths. Yeah, every single character does. So I would expect that she will also have something. The thing about how NRS does it in MK11 is that every character is the jack of all trades, you know? There's no, maybe not literally every, but almost every character has most options. Almost every character has a projectile, a ranged button, you know, something for pressure up close. Almost every case. But of course, what they did is they made it so that some characters' projectiles are really good and some are ass. And some pressure tools are really good and some are really slow or don't have much frame advantage or don't do much damage or don't lead to much damage. So there's still archetypes within that, but in this game it's more about having each character with most of the options and then like, you know, one of those options is better or worse than everybody else. All right, so let's check. I feel like this is a normal grab, but see, right? That might be versus standing, actually. That might be the versus standing grab. So the description said that there's a overhead, I don't know what the phrasing was. Low grapple, overhead grapple is what the phrasing was on the description from IGN. So that might be the overhead one because she does take a step here. Maybe, but again, could be normal throw as well. Oh, the big stand 4. I'll remember that from MK9. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Does she have punch walk? That's a great question. Oh, amplified. Okay, so that's the special move. Wow, I guess there's some instances of strings having amplifications on them, but this is probably not normal grab. So, this is maybe more the standing command grab. Yeah, Sheeva looks cool for sure. Again, I'm not sure that I want to play a character with overhead command grab, low command grab. I think I just like having a command grab. But I guess I play, like, what if Bone Picker Baraka had a low command grab? That'd be cool, I guess. I mean, he already has a duckable command grab. So I don't know if it's so different, really. Anyway, I think she looks awesome. So I think this, in retrospect, I think this looks to me like it's a normal throw. Because later on in this video, there's what appears to be a command grab done while the opponent is standing that has an amplification point on it. So this is the stomp, right? That's to be expected. Stomp, stomp. Oh, but it's not a full screen looking stomp. I wonder if that's gonna be like a gear move or something. It's just a regular jump up stomp. So this would have been down up in previous games. But, the beginning of that move, is that a regular jump that she can then do an air cancel into stomp from? I don't know. That looks to me like it's not a normal jump startup, right? Who knows what her normal jump startup is, but. I feel like this is just a move. The amplify for the knockdown, that makes sense. That does not look like a normal jump to me. And this is probably a string, I think. This is like her Goro punch walk, but it's a string or what? So that was in MK9. That was the low grab into, right? So to me, this looks like string that causes a knockdown. And in MK, once you get a knockdown, grabs can juggle. Command grabs can juggle, at least in MK11. So I think that's what I would guess that is, right? Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then there's probably some good juggle you can do here. I imagine that what I think is stand 4 is probably not stand 4. Yeah, stand 4. That's probably not it. But I wonder if stand 4 is going to be, in MK9 it was a mid. If I recall correctly, it was a plus mid. That's so long ago. Let me know if that's wrong. I feel like I'm not confident in that, but I think it used to be a plus on block mid attack. That would definitely whiff on a lot of characters too. Anyway, I wonder if they'll have that again. A lot of characters, 4s or forward 4s are plus, like the party starters, so it would be cool. And then this to me looks like it's the standing grab. So this is the command grab. So she has an overhead, she has a grab that works when the opponent's standing and a grab that works when the opponent's crouching. So MK9 was at least, and the description of her in this game from IGN is much the same. So with that, if the one from the string was the low, this I think is the standing one. As she grabs him in while he's standing, he's definitely standing to begin this. Let's find the right moment here after the stand 4. Okay. Frame by frame. Yeah. So he's definitely standing, right? This is not like from a crouch. And then amplifier. I don't know. Again, as far as Sheeva goes, I didn't play her in 9, even though she was the kind of grappler of that game, because I didn't like the idea of having grabs that were tied to whether the opponent was standing or crouching. Now, I'm a little bit more open to that. I play mostly a character with a high command grab, after all. And so, you know, I'm kind of used to the game of, oh, the opponent thinks it's time to duck. Well, there's ways to blow that up. So maybe I'm not so opposed to it now. I'll give her a go. And then Robocop. Yeah, how do you think Robocop would play? Oh, wow. Okay, so Chambos101 says, on an IGN description, they named him a keep-out character. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it would be weird if Robocop was an up-close character. If you think about how he did stuff in the movies, it was mostly by gun. I guess I can think of a couple of instances when he had to get close to some of the enemies, but yeah, usually he was shooting stuff. As soon as I hear Zoner, I'm more interested. Sure. All right, and then there's Robocop, who features both the iconic voice and likeness of Peter Weller. That is really cool. They got the actual actor. Described as a character who excels at keeping his opponents at bay with his Auto 9 pistol, flamethrower, riot shield, and shoulder cannon that can be loaded with various types of ammo. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense as far as how the character would play, given how the movie character. Fujin. Way back in 2006, last time, huh? His fighting style revolves around a sword, a crossbow, and wind powers, the latter of which he uses to manipulate both his weapons and his enemies. Well, I don't know. I mean, again, it could be cool. They make really good character designs gameplay wise, so yeah, I'm sure it could be cool. Why not? Not a character I was specifically looking for, but I am happy for people who cared about him, and it seemed like there were a lot because he's been getting asked for ever since MK9. It means that he could play in any way. You know, that could be jack of all trades, that could be zoner, that could be pressure. You know, hard to say. Thanks, King Kors, who describes Fujin's playstyle as, and I quote, his playstyle was very windy, pretty whooshy, and had a heavy breeze. Sweet. All right, art department says he is a mid-range character with a crossbow. He uses tornadoes to combo. All right, so he's a whooshy character. Got it. Yeah, anyway. You know it's gonna be a bummer is when you do this, say you're Fujin, right? And you're like, all right, I got my big combo opportunity. Kick, 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 amplify for the big old thing. And they did breakaway on the kick. And now you're up here dancing in the sky for a minute, and they're gonna do a full combo punish on you. That's gonna be a bummer. That's gonna be a bummer. I feel like that might be a string. So Fujin, all right, so gameplay stuff. So he's got a wind move that grabs or at least pushes the opponent. I don't know if that's a grab, right? Not the right terminology, but pulls the opponent, I guess, if you're gonna be more precise about it. That's cool. Yep, again. I mean, they definitely look like cool moves, and that's huge. I don't have much context. Maybe you folks can tell me in the chat. Since I didn't play whichever of the 3D games he was in, I guess I rented them all, but I certainly didn't spend much time on them. How did he play? What was his gameplay style like? Yeah, his hands look cool. I mean, he's definitely like conjuring wind, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Brain Blast? Maybe. We were talking about breakaway, right? And how some folks want it not to be breakaway, instead for it to be like in previous MK games where it's a breaker and both characters get reset to neutral, so one's not punishing the other, usually. Think about this move that they gave to Fujin. Look at this move. He's so high up there. And I even said this when we were first breaking down this video, but if the opponent were to break away, like at the beginning of this, let's see if we can find a good little frame. So like right here, right? And then he amplifies it. Yes, there's the amplify, right? And say the opponent's dropping down now. He is so stuck. He's so stuck. Does this move imply that they have changed breakaway? Does it imply that there are more unbreakable hit moments? Does it imply that there are more anti-breakaway tools? Spawn has a special move that just breaks the breakaway. Like you call it out as Spawn, you not only hit them, but you get actually a juggle because of it. So you turn their attempted breakaway into a further combo damage for yourself, and they've already lost 2 defensive bars. They can't wake up with anything. Would they design a move like that if it was the normal breakaway system? I don't know. I don't know. That's super weird, actually. Look at the end of this move just normally. So he hits Baraka, right? And Baraka does another little bouncy bounce. And then Baraka starts falling. And meanwhile, Fujin is definitely still way up there in the air. What? I feel like that's not a great idea as Fujin. Is Baraka gonna take a while to get up or something? I don't know. That's weird. Maybe he does fall super fast right after this. Could be. Oh, do you think this would be wild? Do you think this right here leaves him in float state? Is he now? What was it? Mystic Ermac? Right? Was it the MKX one? Is he now in a float state where he can just keep floating? I don't know. That'd be sick. This, to me, again, this looks like a string. So this looks, what is this? Forward one, right? Or back one, maybe? So it looks to me like it's a mid, a little swipe. Maybe this is forward 1-1, back 1-1, whichever way you want to do it. And then maybe this is 1+3, you know? So we got a grappler, we got a, who knows, maybe middle of the road, maybe funky, tricky character. I don't know what to say about Fujin, there's just not enough info yet. But, you know, the fact that they only say his fighting style revolves around a sword, crossbow, and wind powers, I'm really looking forward to it, though. And it feels to me like it's coming at a good time. I mean, it's a bummer because, you know, obviously we're all stuck at home, yada, yada, terrible things going on, but I like it to come, it's coming at about a year, right? A little bit longer than a year. And that makes sense. You know, it seems like a good spot to make changes, to add new characters. I like games that are not real balance change heavy, and I think that NRS has done a good job over the last two games of Injustice and MK11 of not having frequent changes either. So some characters certainly have been changed. I mean, you know, you think this maybe is a character who's probably one of the most over the time in MK11, but is still good. Like, nobody would tell you Gira sucks. Nobody who's being reasonable would tell you Gira sucks. So it's not like they haven't like completely flipped the tiers or anything. Like I like that. I like the slow change. But what I'm cool with as well is, you know, maybe once a year or something, have a little bit more of a significant change. And that is when you give, I don't know, maybe this is when you give Kano like the stronger overhead damage or whatever to balance him out. I don't know. To me, that would be cool.